My friends, life will always test us. Not once, not twice, but again and again. Sometimes the test comes in the form of people. Sometimes through circumstances, and sometimes through our own thoughts. But the truth is this, the world will never stop throwing challenges. What can stop is how much power we give them. An unshakable mind is not a mind without problems. It is a mind that refuses to collapse in front of them. It is a mind that says, I may not control everything happening around me, but I surely control what happens within me. We've all seen a candle. When you place a candle in a room without wind, the flame is steady. But when the wind blows, the flame dances. And if the wind becomes strong, it may even try to put the flame out. Life is that wind. It will keep blowing. It will try to make you flicker. It will challenge your peace. And sometimes it will try to extinguish your hope. But a mind trained with resilience becomes like a lantern, protected from the storm, glowing even brighter because it has learned how to shield itself. Staying positive doesn't mean you ignore negativity. It simply means you refuse to surrender to it. Positivity is not an escape. It is a strength. It is a strength. It is not a blind optimism. It is a conscious decision. Many times people say, I will be positive when everything becomes good, everything becomes good. But the secret is the opposite. Everything becomes good only when you choose to be positive first. Your inner world creates your outer world. A peaceful heart creates a peaceful life. You build an unshakable mind by choosing your thoughts carefully, just as a gardener chooses the seeds. Seeds the seeds. You don't allow weeds of fear, doubt, and frustration to grow freely. You remove them. You nourish your mind with gratitude, purpose, and discipline. And slowly, you become strong, not because life became easier, but because you became wiser. Every challenge is shaping you. Every delay is teaching you patience. Every setback is preparing you for a bigger comeback. When you stay positive through anything, you are not avoiding reality or transforming it. Remember, storms don't last forever. Seasons change, nights end, and even the heaviest clouds eventually run out of rain. But a mind trained in resilience shines through all seasons. So breathe, smile, and move forward with faith. Build a mind that circumstances cannot break. Build a heart that pain cannot spoil. Build a spirit that negativity cannot pull down. And then you will realize true power was never outside. It was always inside you. Life will always test you. And these tests rarely arrive with a warning. Sometimes they come quietly like a small irritation you brush off. Sometimes they come loudly like a storm shaking everything you thought was secure. But the truth is this. Your strength is not measured by how smooth your life is. It is measured by how you respond when life becomes rough. Anyone can smile when things are easy. The real victory is staying centered when everything around you is pulling you toward frustration, fear, or hopelessness. Think about a tree standing in an open field. On a calm day, you cannot tell whether the tree is strong or weak. It just stands there like every other tree. But when the storm arrives, when the winds roar and the rain lashes down, that is when you discover the strength of its roots. The storms of life serve the same purpose. They reveal what lies beneath the surface. They show us whether we have been nurturing inner resilience or just maintaining outward appearances. And many people collapse because they spend so much time decorating the branches of life, but very little time developing their roots. Your response to life's test shapes you far more than the test itself. Two people can go through the same hardship, same situation, same challenge, and come out completely different. The difference is not in the event, it is in their mindset. One person asks, oh, why me? And drowns in self-pity. The other asks, what is this trying to teach me? And rises stronger. The first person becomes a victim of circumstances. The second becomes a student of life. When life tests you, your first reaction is often emotional, fear, anger, confusion. But your strongest response can only come once those emotions settle. Strength does not lie in reacting instantly. It lies in responding wisely. And wisdom grows when you pause, breathe, and look at the bigger picture. Every difficult moment carries a hidden lesson. Every setback contains a seed of opportunity. When you understand that, you stop seeing life as something that happens to you and begin seeing it as something that happens for your growth. Many times, tests appear in the form of people, hurtful words, betrayal, disappointment. These tests teach you emotional maturity. Sometimes tests come through circumstances, financial struggles, delays, uncertainties. These tests develop patience and trust. Sometimes the test is your own mind, your fears, doubts, and insecurities. These tests build inner clarity and discipline. Life uses different tools, but the purpose remains the same, to strengthen you from the inside. Imagine a piece of gold. Before it becomes beautiful jewelry, it passes through intense fire. The fire is not meant to destroy it, it is meant to purify it. In the same way, challenges are not meant to break you. They burn away the impurities, your weaknesses, your ego, your impatience, your lack of focus. That is why the people who emerge from difficult phases often say, I would never want to go through it again. But I am grateful it happened. Because they discovered their real strength. You cannot avoid life's tests, but you can choose your response. You can choose to crumble or to climb. You can choose to complain or to learn. You can choose to become bitter or to become better. And every time you choose a stronger response, you build an unshakable mind. One that stands firm not because life is easy, but because you have become powerful within. An unshakable mind is not a mind that lives without problems. It is a mind that becomes steady despite them. Many people imagine that mentally strong individuals live smoother lives, free from stress, conflict, or disappointment. But the truth is far from this. They experience the same storms as everyone else. They face setbacks, misunderstandings, loneliness, pressure, and fear just like any other human being. The difference is not in the intensity of their challenges, but in the depth of their inner stability. They are not problem-free, they are problem-proof. Imagine a boat sailing on the ocean. The ocean can become one moment and violent the next. Waves may rise unpredictably, winds may turn rough, and storms may approach suddenly. A weak boat gets tossed around and possibly destroyed. But a strong boat, built resilience, carefully designed structure, and balanced weight does not avoid the storms. It survives them. It may sway, it may shake, but it does not sink. That strength comes not from avoiding waves, but from preparing for them. Life works the same way. Problems are not interruptions in your journey. They are part of the path. They are woven into the fabric of reality because they build capacities within you that comfort never could. If everything in your life remained easy, your mind would remain fragile. It would break at the slightest challenge. Just like muscles grow when pushed, the mind grows when stretched. Strength comes from facing things that once scared you. Confidence is born when you succeed at something you once doubted. Wisdom forms when you reflect on what once confused you. Every test, therefore, contributes to your mental armor. Many people complain, why do I have so many problems? But the question should not be, why do I have them? Rather, who am I becoming because of them? When you embrace challenges as training instead of punishment, you step into a powerful mindset, one that cannot be easily shaken. A problem-proof mind is not a mind that avoids difficulty. It is a mind that understands the purpose of difficulty. Think of a tightrope walker balancing high above the ground. They do not stay balanced by expecting no wind. They stay balanced by training their body and mind to move with the wind. Similarly, a strong person does not pray for zero problems. They pray for the inner strength to manage whatever comes. They train their thoughts to remain steady. They ground themselves in perspective. They remind themselves that no situation is permanent, no emotion is final, and no challenge is unbeatable. An unshakable mind also comes from the way you perceive problems. Some people see a problem and instantly create a story of fear around it. This will ruin everything. I can't handle this. Why is this happening again? The suffering multiplies. But others see the same problem and create a different story. There must be a reason. This will make me stronger. I've handled worse. I will find a way. The resilience multiplies. The problem remains the same. The narrative changes everything. Life does not demand that you never fall. It simply asks that you rise stronger each time. A problem-proof mind is built by rising repeatedly. Not gracefully, not perfectly, but consistently. With each rise, your foundation becomes deeper, your wisdom becomes sharper, and your patience becomes richer. This is how true stability is built. Not by eliminating storms, but by mastering the art of standing firm through them. Not control the outside world, but you can always control the inner world. This is one of the most powerful truths in life, yet it is also one of the most overlooked. People spend so much energy trying to change what is outside. Other people, circumstances, weather, traffic, or even their past, only to discover that true peace and strength never come from the external. No matter how perfect the surroundings, if the mind is unsettled, nothing feels right. Conversely, if the mind is steady, even a stormy environment cannot disturb your calm. Think of a sailor on the sea. He cannot control the waves, the wind, or the rain. He cannot command the storms to stop or ask the tide to change. But he can adjust his sail, steer his boat, and choose the path he will take through the turbulence. The waves are still wild, the storm still rages, yet his inner focus and skill allow him to move forward safely. Life works the same way. You cannot always change the events happening around you, but you can adjust how you think about them, how you respond to them, and how much power you give them over your emotions. Many people mistake control for influence. They want to control everything outside them. What people say, how situations unfold, even how time passes. But this is an illusion. The reality is that control over the external is fragile, temporary, and often impossible. True mastery comes from controlling the internal world. Your thoughts, your emotions, your choices, and your reactions. When your inner world is steady, nothing outside can shake you. This is why some people remain calm in crises that would break others. It is not that their problems are smaller. It is that their inner stability is stronger. The inner world is where everything begins. Every thought you allow shapes your feelings. Every feeling you nurture shapes your actions. Every action you take shapes your life. If your inner world is cluttered with fear, doubt, or negativity, it does not matter how favorable the external environment is. You will never feel free. But if your inner world is disciplined, centered, and positive, you will navigate challenges gracefully. Positivity does not guarantee a problem-free life, but it guarantees that you will navigate challenges with dignity, courage, and clarity. Finally, positivity is a muscle, not a gift. It must be exercised daily. It grows when you consciously focus on gratitude, when you replace self-defeating thoughts with empowering ones, when you pause before reacting to negativity and choose calm instead. The mind trained in positivity does not collapse in the face of adversity. It does not feed on fear or worry. It stands firm, resilient, and hopeful. And over time, this deliberate choice transforms your life in ways that no external circumstances ever could. Your mind is a garden. Your thoughts are seeds. Choose what you want to grow. This is one of the most powerful yet underappreciated truths about building an unshakable mind. Many people live as though their thoughts are random visitors, arriving uninvited, staying as long as they please, and dictating how they feel and act. But thoughts are not mere passengers. They are the architects of your reality. Whatever you feed, water, and nurture in your mind will grow. If you allow fear, anger, or doubt to take root, they will grow wild, choking your peace and happiness. If you nurture gratitude, courage, and hope, your mind blossoms into a sanctuary of strength and clarity. Consider a small seed planted in the soil. At first, it seems insignificant, almost invisible. But with the right care, sunlight, water, and patience, it grows into a strong tree. The same happens with your thoughts. One small worry left unchecked can grow into days of anxiety and sleepless nights. One kind thought repeated and reflected upon can grow into a lifetime of confidence, peace, and resilience. The quality of your mind is the direct result of the quality of your thoughts. This is why mental strength begins with awareness. You must notice what seeds you are planting, intentionally choosing those that nourish growth rather than destruction. The mind garden also requires weeding. Just as a gardener removes weeds to allow flowers to thrive, you must consciously remove thoughts that harm you. Thoughts of resentment, regret, or self-doubt are like weeds. They spread quickly if unattended. They steal energy, distort perception, and limit your potential. It is not enough to simply plant good seeds. You must protect them from the weeds of negativity. This takes discipline, focus, and courage. You will need to pause before reacting to harmful thoughts, question their validity, and replace them with thoughts that align with your strength and purpose. Over time, this practice transforms your mental landscape. A key part of cultivating your mental garden is patience. Seeds do not grow overnight. A tree takes years to bear fruit, and a garden requires seasons of care. Similarly, the thoughts you plant today may not yield immediate results. But the consistent practice of planting positivity, resilience, and hope creates a fertile mind that can withstand storms, setbacks, and difficulties. Each day you choose to feed your mind with constructive thoughts, you are nurturing the foundation of an unshakable mind. Each day you resist the temptation to dwell on fear or anger. You reinforce the roots of your inner strength. Your mental garden also shapes your actions in your life. Thoughts guide decisions, and decisions shape habits. Habits shape character, and character shapes destiny. When your garden is filled with strong, positive thoughts, your actions naturally align with growth, courage, and purpose. When your mind is neglected and weeds take over, even small challenges can overwhelm you. The beauty of this truth is that you have complete responsibility and power over your garden. The soil may be the circumstances of your life, but the seeds and how you care for them are entirely yours. In essence, cultivating a mental garden is an active choice, a commitment to choose wisely, nurture continuously, and remove what hinders growth. It is a daily work of protecting your mind, strengthening your thoughts, and building a life rooted in resilience, clarity, and positivity. And as with any garden, the results are magnificent, lasting, and life-giving, not just for you, but for those around you. Challenges are not punishments. They are preparations for your next level. Life often disguises lessons in the form of struggles, delays, and hardships. When something goes wrong, our instinct is to complain, blame, or feel defeated. We see obstacles as walls designed to keep us out of success, happiness, or peace. But in reality, these obstacles are more like staircases. Every challenge you face is preparing you for something greater, teaching you lessons that comfort could never teach. The pain you feel today is often the seed of strength and wisdom that will serve you tomorrow. Think of a blacksmith shaping a sword. The raw metal is lifeless, weak, and incapable of fulfilling its purpose. But through fire, hammering, and repeated shaping, it becomes strong, sharp, and valuable. If the blacksmith tried to skip the fire or avoid the pounding, the sword would remain fragile and useless. Similarly, life's difficulties refine you. They test your patience, strengthen your resolve, and build the mental muscles that allow you to face future challenges without fear. Without trials, your strength remains hidden. Without discomfort, your resilience remains undeveloped. Challenges are not obstacles to your growth. They are the tools of your transformation. Many people struggle because they view hardships as unfair punishments. They ask, why me? Or why now? But this perspective misses the bigger picture. Life does not target you personally. Difficulties are universal. They are part of the human experience. What differs is how you perceive them. When you understand that every struggle carries a hidden lesson, you shift from being a victim of circumstance to being a student of life. The test becomes a teacher. The setback becomes a setup for growth. The pain becomes a path to greater strength. Challenges also reveal who you truly are. When life is easy, it is impossible to measure your courage, patience, or character. It is during trials that your inner qualities come to light. A small inconvenience might seem insignificant, but even minor challenges teach control over reaction, perspective, and emotional balance. Larger challenges, on the other hand, test your endurance, wisdom, and faith. Each time you navigate difficulty, you gain a new level of confidence in your ability to handle what life throws at you. You begin to trust yourself in ways that comfort alone could never achieve. Another important aspect of challenges is the perspective they offer. They teach you empathy, humility, and gratitude. When you experience difficulty, you understand the struggles of others. You learn to value moments of ease, peace, and support. You realize that nothing in life should be taken for granted. These lessons are priceless and can only be learned through experience, not theory or advice. Each challenge carries multiple gifts if only we have the awareness to notice them. Finally, embracing challenges with this mindset transforms your relationship with life. You stop fearing the unknown, the failures, or the setbacks. You stop seeing difficulties as threats and start seeing them as stepping stones. You recognize that every trial is temporary, but the growth it produces is permanent. Your mind becomes stronger, your spirit becomes more resilient, and your confidence in your ability to overcome anything grows exponentially. Life is not happening to break you, it is happening to build you if you are willing to see the purpose behind every test. A strong mind creates a strong life, inner peace shapes outer peace. This is a truth often overlooked in the rush of everyday life. Many people look for solutions outside themselves, believing that changing circumstances, relationships, or external conditions will automatically make life better. Yet the reality is that external peace is a reflection of internal stability. If the mind is turbulent, fearful, or reactive, no external situation can bring true calm. Conversely, a mind that is disciplined, centered, and peaceful radiates stability into every aspect of life. Your outer world simply mirrors the quality of your inner world. Consider a lake on a calm day. The water is clear, reflective, and still. You can see the sky, the trees, and even your own reflection perfectly. But if the wind blows and the waves rise, the water becomes murky, turbulent, and chaotic. Life is the same. When the mind is unsettled by fear, worry, or negativity, everything around seems confusing, hostile, or unmanageable. When the mind is centered, no storm can distort perception. Challenges still exist, but they are approached with clarity, calmness, and confidence. Inner peace is not a luxury. It is the foundation for navigating life effectively. Many people underestimate the power of their own thoughts and emotions in shaping their reality. A negative mindset creates conflict, stress, and missed opportunities. You may face the same situation as someone else, but your response determines your experience. One person sees difficulty and spirals into anxiety. Another sees it and navigates with patience and wisdom. The difference is not in the circumstance, it is in the mind. Strengthening the mind is therefore not just a personal benefit, it transforms your interactions, your decisions, and ultimately the quality of your life. A strong mind also enhances resilience. Life is unpredictable. Setbacks, losses, misunderstandings, and unexpected changes are inevitable. A strong mind does not collapse in the face of adversity. It adjusts, learns, and continues moving forward. This resilience is contagious. When you face challenges calmly, others around you feel steadier too. Your inner peace becomes a stabilizing force, affecting family, friends, colleagues, and even strangers. Your mind becomes the anchor in a world of constant change. Another aspect of a strong mind is the ability to prioritize what truly matters. Life is full of distractions, noise, and pressures. But when your mind is disciplined, you can focus on meaningful goals rather than trivial frustrations. Inner clarity allows you to make better decisions, set healthier boundaries, and pursue your purpose without being pulled off course by fear, envy, or impatience. Your life becomes more intentional, more balanced, and more aligned with your values. The strength of your mind directly shapes the strength of your life. Building a strong mind requires consistent practice. It is nurtured through daily reflection, gratitude, mindful awareness, and disciplined thought patterns. It is strengthened by controlling reactions, embracing challenges, and maintaining a positive outlook even in difficult circumstances. Over time, these practices create a mind that is not easily shaken, a life that is not easily disturbed, and a heart that is not easily discouraged. Inner peace becomes a habit, a default state, a foundation for everything you do. Ultimately, a strong mind does not just survive life, it transforms life. It turns setbacks into lessons, fear into courage, chaos into clarity, and ordinary moments into opportunities for growth. The peace you cultivate inside does not merely protect you, it elevates everything around you, creating a life that reflects your inner strength. In this way, the quality of your mind becomes the most important determinant of the quality of your life. Resilience is built daily through gratitude, patience, and disciplined thinking. Many people believe resilience is something that only comes naturally or is forged in extreme circumstances. While it is true that crises test our strength, the foundation of resilience is laid long before the storms arrive. It is cultivated in the small, every choices we make. How we think, how we react, and how we choose to see the world. A resilient mind does not wait for difficulty to appear. It is prepared because it has been trained patiently, consistently, and intentionally. Think of a bamboo tree. In its first few years, it grows mostly underground, developing roots that are strong, deep, and invisible. To the outside observer, it appears that the tree is not growing at all. Yet, once the roots are established, the bamboo grows rapidly, resilient to storms, wind, and drought. Human resilience is very similar. It develops quietly through consistent mental practice, through daily habits of gratitude, patience, and disciplined thinking. It is invisible in the moment, but undeniable when challenges come, allowing you to withstand what might break others. Gratitude is one of the most important tools for building resilience. When you focus on what is good in your life, however small, you shift your attention away from fear, frustration, and negativity. Gratitude trains your mind to see possibility rather than limitation. It reminds you that even in hardship, there is something to learn, something to appreciate, and something to build upon. Grateful mind does not dismiss difficulties, but it refuses to be overwhelmed by them. It finds light even in the darkest corners of life. Patience is equally critical. Life rarely unfolds exactly as planned. People's circumstances and outcomes often move more slowly than we would like. Without patience, the mind becomes restless, anxious, and vulnerable. Patience allows you to wait for the right moment, to respond rather than react, and to remain calm even when progress is slow. It transforms obstacles into opportunities for reflection and growth. A patient mind understands that resilience is a journey, not an instant result, and it uses every delay, every setback, and every challenge as part of its training. Disciplined thinking is the third pillar of resilience. The mind naturally drifts toward fear, doubt, and self-pity, especially when under stress. Without control, thoughts can become destructive, creating mental patterns that weaken rather than strengthen. Disciplined thinking is the conscious practice of guiding your mind toward clarity, purpose, and positivity. It involves questioning negative thoughts, focusing on solutions instead of problems, and building mental habits that reinforce strength rather than fragility. Over time, disciplined thinking becomes second nature, forming the backbone of a resilient mind. Resilience is not passive. It requires daily effort, reflection, and conscious choice. It is built in the quiet moments. When you choose to see the silver lining, when you pause instead of reacting, when you replace self-doubt with self-encouragement. Every time you practice gratitude, patience, and disciplined thought, you strengthen the invisible foundation that will carry you through the most difficult storms. Challenges will come, life will test you, but with a resilient mind, you are prepared. You do not crumble, you do not despair, and you do not surrender. Instead, you stand tall, anchored by the habits, choices, and practices you have cultivated day by day. That day, emotional stability comes from understanding that storms are temporary. Life is full of ups and downs, moments of joy and moments of challenge, periods of peace and periods of chaos. Many people become overwhelmed because they forget one simple truth. Nothing lasts forever. Pain, difficulty, failure, and disappointment are not permanent conditions. They are temporary phases in the greater journey of life. The mind to remain steady, the heart to remain calm, and the spirit to remain unshaken, even when circumstances seem unbearable. Imagine a river during the monsoon season. The water rises, currents strengthen, and turbulence dominates the landscape. To someone standing on the bank, it may look dangerous, frightening, and unmanageable. Yet, the river does not remain this way forever. Eventually, the waters recede. The currents calm and life returns to its natural rhythm. Human emotions and experiences are similar. A difficult situation may feel overwhelming now, but if you remember that this is temporary, you gain the perspective to navigate it without losing yourself. Emotional stability comes when you internalize this truth and allow it to guide your reactions. One of the greatest challenges to emotional stability is the human tendency to exaggerate problems. The mind often magnifies difficulties, imagining them to be permanent, catastrophic, or insurmountable. This is why people can feel hopeless even when situations are manageable. Emotional stability requires recognizing that such exaggeration is natural but unnecessary. It requires consciously stepping back, observing the situation without judgment, and reminding yourself that the storm will pass, or that the storm will pass. By doing this repeatedly, the mind learns to stay calm. Even in the midst of turbulence, and emotional reactions become measured rather than impulsive. Understanding the temporary nature of storms also fosters resilience. When you know that hardships have a beginning and an end, you can endure discomfort without panic. You can maintain hope even when progress is slow. And you can take purposeful actions instead of reacting out of fear or frustration. Emotional stability is not about avoiding feelings. It is about managing them, seeing them in context, and refusing to let temporary challenges dictate permanent decisions. A person who has internalized this principle can experience sadness without despair, frustration without bitterness, and fear without paralysis. This understanding also cultivates gratitude and perspective. Storms, whether emotional, professional, or personal, highlight the value of calm periods, teach lessons about patience, and reveal the depth of your inner strength. When you recognize that difficulties are temporary, you also recognize your capacity to survive, adapt, and thrive. Each challenge becomes a teacher rather than a tormentor. Your emotional balance allows you to appreciate moments of joy more deeply, maintain compassion during conflicts, and act with clarity when decisions are needed most. Emotionability, like a muscle, grows stronger with practice. It is strengthened every time you pause before reacting. Remind yourself of the temporary nature of your struggles and choose perspective over panic. It is reinforced each time you respond with calm rather than impulse, with patience rather than frustration, and with understanding rather than judgment. Over time, these choices create a mind that is steady, a heart that is resilient, and a spirit that is unshakable, even in the most turbulent circumstances. By remembering that storms are temporary, you free yourself from the tyranny of emotions and gain mastery over your inner world. True power is internal. Once you master your mind, nothing outside can break you. Many people spend their lives chasing external sources of strength, money, influence, recognition, or control over situations and people, believing that security and power lie outside themselves. Yet all of these are fragile. Circumstances change, people disappoint, wealth fluctuates, and recognition fades. The only form of power that cannot be taken away, that cannot be diminished by events, is the power that resides within your own mind and spirit. This internal power is what makes a person truly unshakable, unbreakable, and unstoppable. Consider a mountain standing tall amidst the storm. Winds may howl, rains may pour, and snow may fall relentlessly, yet the mountain remains. Its strength does not come from the sky or the surrounding terrain. It comes from the solid foundation deep within its core. Similarly, your internal power comes from the thoughts you cultivate, the choices you make, the discipline you practice, and the resilience you develop. When your mind is trained, your spirit anchored, and your heart disciplined, no external circumstance can diminish your inner strength. Storms may come, but they only highlight the depth of your power. Many people are unaware of the immense influence their own mind holds. Thoughts create emotions, emotions create actions, and actions shape destiny. A mind that is fearful, reactive, or negative surrenders its power to circumstances. A mind that is calm, focused, and positive commands its circumstances rather than being commanded by them. This is the essence of internal power. It is not about controlling the world around you, but about mastering the world within you. When this mastery is achieved, external events may test you, but they cannot define you. You remain steady, focused, and purposeful no matter what happens. Internal power is also reflected in the ability to choose your responses. Life is unpredictable and situations often arise that are beyond your control. The person who has mastered their mind does not waste energy on resentment, blame, or despair. They respond with clarity, calmness, and wisdom. Their power lies not in avoiding challenges, but in approaching them with confidence, knowing that nothing external can shake their foundation. This is the difference between reacting to life and living intentionally. True power comes when you recognize that every challenge is temporary, but the strength you build in response is permanent. Developing internal power requires consistent effort. It requires cultivating mental discipline, emotional awareness, resilience, and gratitude. It requires choosing thoughts that uplift rather than destroy, focusing on solutions rather than problems, and nurturing patience when progress is slow. Over time, these practices transform the mind from a reactive instrument into a powerful tool for navigating life. The stronger your inner power becomes, the less external circumstances dictate your happiness, peace, or success. You realize that the world may shift, but your inner foundation is unshakable. Finally, internal power allows you to live with confidence, freedom, and purpose. You're no longer a nation from others on constant reassurance or on favorable circumstances. You become the architect of your own experience, the captain of your own journey, and the master of your own emotions. Emotions. When the mind is strong and the heart is disciplined, no external force can undermine your peace. You realize that true power was never outside. It has always been within you, waiting to be awakened, practiced, and mastered. This realization changes everything. It transforms fear into courage, chaos into clarity, and challenges into opportunities for growth. Self-belief is the cornerstone of an unshakable mind. Many people underestimate the power of believing in themselves. They look to the world for validation, waiting for recognition, approval, or external proof before they feel worthy, capable, or strong. But the truth is, the foundation of mental strength is built from within. If you do not believe in your own abilities, resilience, and potential, no circumstance, achievement, or external praise can fill that void. Self-belief is not arrogance. It is the quiet, steady confidence that you have the capacity to face life's challenges, learn from them, and emerge stronger. Imagine a tightrope walker suspended high above the ground. No matter how strong the wind blows, no matter how shaky the rope may seem, the walker moves confidently because of the trust in their own training and balance. That trust is self-belief. Life often feels like walking a tightrope, unpredictable, challenging, and full of potential pitfalls. Without belief in your own abilities, every challenge feels insurmountable, every setback devastating, and every criticism paralyzing. With self-belief, however, obstacles become manageable, setbacks become lessons, and criticism becomes fuel for growth. Self-belief also shapes the way you perceive failure. People who lack confidence in themselves often see failure as a verdict, a confirmation that they are not enough, not capable, or not deserving. Those who cultivate self-belief, however, see failure as feedback. They understand that making mistakes is part of the learning process, that setbacks are temporary, and that every challenge carries lessons that strengthen character and skill. Self-belief does not make failure disappear, but it transforms how you respond to it, giving you the courage to try again and the wisdom to improve. Another critical aspect of self-belief is the ability to stand firm under criticism, doubt, or negativity. Life will always have people who question your abilities, discourage your efforts, or criticize your choices. Without belief in yourself, such words can shake your confidence and derail your progress. With strong self-belief, you can listen, reflect, and even learn from feedback without being destabilized by it. Your internal validation becomes stronger than external judgment. You trust your journey, your decisions, and your capacity to overcome, no matter what others say. Building self-belief requires consistent practice and self-awareness. It begins by recognizing your strengths, acknowledging your achievements, and reflecting on the challenges you have already overcome. Each small victory reinforces the truth that you are capable, resilient, and resourceful. It also requires compassion toward yourself, accepting that imperfection is natural, setbacks are normal, and growth is a lifelong process. Over time, these practices solidify your inner confidence, making your mind less dependent on external validation and more anchored in your own certainty. Now, ultimately, self-belief fuels action, courage, and persistence. It allows you to take risks, embrace challenges, and pursue goals even when the path is uncertain. It transforms fear into determination, doubt into curiosity, and hesitation into momentum. When you cultivate self-belief, you become your own anchor, your own motivator, and your own source of strength. Nothing outside can diminish the power you have within. This is why self-belief is not just a quality. It is the foundation for an unshakable mind and a life lived with purpose, courage, and resilience. Discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement. Many people underestimate the quiet, steady power of disciplined action. They dream, they plan, and they wish for change, yet they often fail to follow through consistently. The mind may be motivated one day, inspired the next, but without discipline, progress is sporadic, fragile, and unreliable. Discipline is not about harsh self-punishment or rigidity. It is about creating consistent habits, making deliberate choices, and showing up for yourself every day, regardless of circumstances, moods, or distractions. It is the invisible force that transforms intention into reality. Consider an artist sculpting a block of stone. Each day they chip away carefully, slowly, and consistently, shaping the raw material into a masterpiece. It is not a single stroke or a moment of inspiration that creates the sculpture. It is the repeated, disciplined effort over time. Life works the same way. Dreams, goals, and aspirations require daily practice, focus, and commitment. Motivation may fluctuate, but discipline ensures progress even when enthusiasm wanes. It is discipline that turns potential into power, ideas into achievements, and intentions into results. Discipline also strengthens the mind against distractions and impulsive reactions. Life constantly tests your focus through temptations, negativity, delays, and emotional turbulence. Without discipline, the mind is easily swayed, priorities are ignored, and energy is wasted on trivial matters. With discipline, you learn to guide your attention deliberately, control your impulses, and make choices that serve your growth and purpose. Each act of self-control reinforces the belief that you are capable, intentional, and in charge of your own life. This builds confidence, resilience, and the kind of mental stability that no external circumstance can undermine. Another important aspect of discipline is its role in forming habits. Habits are the architecture of life. They shape behavior, decisions, and ultimately destiny. A disciplined mind creates positive habits, whether in thinking, learning, health, or relationships. And these habits compound over time. Each small, consistent action builds a foundation that supports larger achievements and shields you from chaos. Discipline transforms fleeting effort into lasting transformation. It allows the mind to operate not only in motivation but in mastery, where consistent action produces results beyond what short-term enthusiasm can achieve. Discipline also cultivates patience and long-term vision. Life rarely delivers instant rewards, and shortcuts often lead to disappointment or failure. The disciplined mind understands that enduring success comes from sustained effort, repeated practice, and delayed gratification. It resists the temptation to react impulsively, to give up prematurely, or to seek easy solutions. Instead, it focuses on steady progress, trusting that every small, deliberate action contributes to a larger outcome. This patience strengthens resilience and ensures that temporary setbacks do not derail the pursuit of long-term goals. Ultimately, discipline is freedom. Many think discipline is restrictive, but in reality, it liberates. A disciplined mind is not controlled by impulses, fears, or circumstances. It is guided by purpose, clarity, and intention. It can remain calm under pressure, make wise decisions in chaos, and continue moving forward when others falter. Discipline ensures that your inner strength is consistently applied to the pursuits that matter, making you unshakable in your commitment, unbreakable in your purpose, and unstoppable in your progress. It is the bridge between who you are today and who you are destined to become. Discipline is the bridge between goals and achievement. Many people underestimate the quiet, steady power of disciplined action. They dream, they plan, and they wish for change, yet they often fail to follow through consistently. The mind may be motivated one day, inspired the next, but without discipline, progress is sporadic, fragile, and unreliable. Discipline is not about harsh self-punishment or rigidity. It is about creating consistent habits, making deliberate choices, and showing up for yourself every day, regardless of circumstances, moods, or distractions. It is the invisible force that transforms intention into reality. Consider an artist sculpting a block of stone. Each day, they chip away carefully, slowly, and consistently, shaping the raw material into a masterpiece. It is not a single stroke or a moment of inspiration that creates the sculpture. It is the repeated, disciplined effort over time. Life works the same way. Dreams, goals, and aspirations require daily practice, focus, and commitment. Motivation may fluctuate, but discipline ensures progress even when enthusiasm wanes. It is discipline that turns potential into power, ideas into achievements, and intentions into results. Discipline also strengthens the mind against distractions and impulsive reactions. Life constantly tests your focus through temptations, negativity, delays, and emotional turbulence. Without discipline, the mind is easily swayed, priorities are ignored, and energy is wasted on trivial matters. With discipline, you learn to guide your attention deliberately, control your impulses, and make choices that serve your growth and purpose. Each act of self-control reinforces the belief that you are capable, intentional, and in charge of your own life. This builds confidence, resilience, and the kind of mental stability that no external circumstance can undermine. Another important aspect of discipline is its role in forming habits. Habits are the architecture of life. They shape behavior, decisions, and ultimately destiny. A disciplined mind creates positive habits, whether in thinking, learning, health, or relationships, and these habits compound over time. Each small, consistent action builds a foundation that supports larger achievements and shields you from chaos. Discipline transforms fleeting effort into lasting transformation. It allows the mind to operate not only in motivation but in mastery, where consistent action produces results beyond what short-term enthusiasm can achieve. Discipline also cultivates patience and long-term vision. Life rarely delivers instant rewards, and shortcuts often lead to disappointment or failure. The disciplined mind understands that enduring success comes from sustained effort, repeated practice, and delayed gratification. It resists the temptation to react impulsively, to give up prematurely, or to seek easy solutions. Instead, it focuses on steady progress, trusting that every small, deliberate action contributes to a larger outcome. This patience strengthens resilience and ensures that temporary setbacks do not derail the pursuit of long-term goals. Discipline is freedom. Many think discipline is restrictive, but in reality, it liberates. A disciplined mind is not controlled by impulses, fears, or circumstances. It is guided by purpose, clarity, and intention. It can remain calm under pressure, make wise decisions in chaos, and continue moving forward when others falter. Discipline ensures that your inner strength is consistently applied to the pursuits that matter, making you unshakable in your commitment, unbreakable in your purpose, and unstoppable in your progress. It is the bridge between who you are today and who you are destined to become.